Hello everyone, welcome back to another Swans Cast podcast, episode 3 of the new season. And we're actually in the week where the season kicks off. So just before we get started, don't forget that's also the day our giveaway is going to end. So refer back to the last 2 podcasts or check out Twitter or Instagram to see all the instructions. To get involved in that, you've got a chance to win a Swansea City kit of your choice between the home and away goalkeeper tops. And if the third kit is announced before we sort the prize out, you can choose that one as well. So yeah, get involved in that and leave a comment to let us know you have taken part. Basically, just head over to Twitter, Instagram, and tell us your favourite Swansea moment. Like, follow, retweet, all that sort of stuff, and each one will get you an entry into the draw. So this week I'm joined by Lee, and Nicky's back as well. So welcome back, lads.
Hello.
I can't remember the last time you were on, Nicky, but I feel like it was a very constructive episode after a bad run of form from Russell Martin. So I guess times have changed since then.
Well, yeah, well, a lot of things have changed, haven't they?
Yeah. So
I think Nicky was on when Duff was announced that day, wasn't it? When we recorded.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we had one since, and yeah, during recording we had a manager change after talking about all the rumours that were there for a long time.
I think we're manifesting because I think hopefully we'll have a signing announced now while Nicky's on.
Well, I was on with Gabriel Sutton the other day, and Yates got announced while I was recording, so on their podcast. So yeah, maybe it will happen again. We'll see. But today's agenda then, obviously, we're trying to. I say trying because I failed in the last video, but the new aim is to make the podcasts a little bit shorter, 45 minutes, make them a little bit more consumable. That's the word. I was going to say something else then. And we'll try and clip it up into little bits. If we've got a big topic, we'll try and clip that out into shorter YouTube videos and YouTube shorts and TikToks and stuff like that going forward in the season, just depending on the editing time, really. We try and jump on when we can to get this stuff sorted. So today's agenda will be... We're going to talk a little bit about the last friendly against Reading, where drastically different from the previous 2. We got a 4-0 win to talk about there, so maybe a little bit more positive signs, and we can see what is actually going on now ahead of the first game of the season. Going to do a little bit of a championship table prediction, and Lee has done his first game of the season lineup prediction for us as well, so we can scrutinise that, see how good or not so good maybe that lineup is.
It's going to be spot on.
Starting with the friendly then, Reading. Neither of you two went up, did you? I guess you watched on the old stream, which apparently has had issues, and I've seen they're issuing refunds.
I watched on highlights on YouTube because I don't do illegal streaming or any sort of malarkey like that.
Well, to be fair, when they're issuing refunds for like the paid stream, I mean, doesn't make you not want to do the illegal streaming, does it?
No, definitely not.
Okay, so what were we saying then? A good performance all round. I didn't even notice, right? But did you notice who was starting in midfield for Reading?
No,
I didn't.
Did you pick up on it? Rashisha.
Oh,
was he really?
Yeah. Started in midfield.
I completely missed that as well.
Yeah.
I watched the game as well.
I mean, I thought he was a right back, so I'm shocked to see him playing there. I know he was versatile, but like...
Unless
he's gone?
Yeah, he's on trial there by all accounts, isn't he?
Oh, I didn't realise he'd left.
Yeah, I think his contract ran out. But
fair enough.
Yeah, let's talk about the game then. So I think start with the lineup. Quite a strong lineup. Says to me maybe that's the direction he's aiming towards the start of the season. What do you two think, Nicky?
Well, obviously it was the last friendly now, isn't it? Before the season starts, so I think he has to go with what he thinks is his best 11. So yeah, he probably went with what he thinks would be the team that he's probably going to play against Birmingham. Obviously, minus of what players are coming in or have come in this week. But yeah, I thought it was a good performance. I know Reading, not the best outfit in the world at the minute, but they know worse than what we played in the 2 previous games. Probably better.
Yeah, you'd argue they have to be the strongest one, given the fact that they only got relegated from the league we were in last year.
definitely. It's just it's funny with these pre-season friendlies, and I try not to read too much into them. But good performance, 4 goals at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So it's nice to see Yates get off the mark as well. Bit of the monkey off his back there.
Yeah.
So good performance and a clean sheet, most importantly.
So for those who don't know what the lineup was, it was Fisher in goals. I want to say, was it Josh Key, a left back? He started a left back this time.
They played Key on the left.
Yeah, so we flipped them. So it was Key left back and Abdullah right back this time, which is the opposite of the previous game. Wood, Cabango, Darlin as back 3. Grimes and Felton, and then a Cham ahead of them with Yates and Perot up top. Yeah?
Yeah.
Based on that lineup, is it as it reads, as I just read out, in terms of what is showing on the pitch, or is there some other things going on the pitch with players maybe not where you think they are when they're in their positions, if that makes sense? Like, what's the formation looking like?
Yeah, well, I've kind of based my when I was trying to think about what the starting lineup will be next week. I think I sort of based it on this it looked like to me. I know in some of the other games it looks like he plays 2 up top, but when I was watching the Reading game, it looked like Yates was kind of more forward than Perot, and Perot was dropping deeper in behind within Cham sometimes, and then it was kind of Fulton and Grimes as a 2 in front of the back 3. And then Key and Abdullah were like really far up, like almost up alongside Yates sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite versatile, which is I quite enjoyed it, because I think he can go 2 up top and drop and Cham in the middle on his own, or he drops Perot and Cham behind Yates, or he sort of puts Perot up top and Fulton goes a little bit forward. So it was they seemed to be swapping quite a lot in and around, and I think that's why they played so much better. They look really good, because there was so much movement going on. Key, for me, has been a highlight of the pre-season. If we're talking about like players to get excited about, I know we can't read too much into the friendlies, but Key getting forward, it was kind of like, reminds me a bit like Connor Roberts, where he used to get forward, like so far forward. So yeah, I think mainly it looks like it's going to be 1 up top, maybe with Perot behind, and then Cham, but maybe swap into like a 2 up top as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Looks like maybe he's got his new manager. He's coming in with new ideas, and he's going to address the squad and how they can fit into his ideas. So I've been given assurances left, right, centre that he's going to definitely play 2 up top, but maybe he thinks the personnel he's got available suit a more fluid rotational system up there. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates into the league games. And maybe it'll be a case of it will change week in, week out as well. So, and that keeps teams that you're playing maybe guessing a little bit more, where in the past, especially under Russell Martin, you could say it's been a little bit more predictable. Teams, what's the saying? They worked us out.
Yeah, I quite like it. Maybe it's a natural thing though. Maybe he does play 2 up top, and Perot naturally drops a little bit deeper because he's done it before. But what I noticed was like there was a few times where the ball's coming in the box, Yates is going in as like a 9, trying to get the first thing, and then Perot's arriving like just that tad late. Like for the first goal, he's kind of hung back a little bit, isn't he? And he scores a lovely volley. Yates has made the run in, and Perot just hangs back a little bit deeper. I think like we'll come on to it, but if we keep Perot, we can play 2 of them up top. If it releases Perot a bit more, then I think it's going to be scary.
Yeah, I think maybe like it is a 2 up top system. You could say one's more of an advanced forward, and then you've got a deep lying forward that's supporting. Because we have seen Perot used out wide, maybe a bit deeper as a cam in the past. So he's got the ability to be able to do both. So if he can float and rotate around and have a bit of a free role, if he does stay, maybe that's dangerous. Any observations you picked up on then, Nicky?
I probably agree with you, actually. I think he wants to make us more, I don't know the word now, unpredictable, maybe. But pushing different players forward, obviously different players out wide. But, maybe like when teams counter us as well. Obviously like we've got Yates up front and Perot and Cham just a little bit deeper.
Yeah,
like we're better in the transition, if you know what I mean. Where we look more solid defensively, where we can sort of stop that counter.
Yeah,
and obviously the old fullbacks would just drop in there. But I'd probably agree with Lee there. I think it looks promising. Obviously they've got to get used to Duff's style as well. at the end of the day, you know, we've watched a couple of friendlies and a couple of them haven't been too impressive with the performances. But at the end of the day, he hasn't had that long with the team, has he? You know what I mean? He's still putting his own stamp on them, and obviously he's trying to still bring players in.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what we turn up against like Birmingham. You know.
Yeah. So I mentioned in the last podcast as well, when I was talking to Ben Church about the previous friendlies, one of the things I picked up on was the midfielders. And I know Mac Grimes is perhaps sitting. In some games, it looked like he was on his own with two ahead of him, or he's been with Felton with one ahead. But as a whole, he has been also getting further forward. And I think there's more evidence of that in this game, because he actually scored a goal from like the edge of the box. When he was running onto it in an attacking play and got a shot away and it's gone in. We didn't really see him do that sort of thing under Russell Martin. We can get in a position where he's on the edge of the box that often to have a shot. So there's definitely more of an emphasis on the full team pushing up, I think, which allows even the deeper midfielders to be in that position at the edge of the box.
I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword with Grimes, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? We'd like to see him further up the pitch because you know he can strike the ball.
Yeah.
But what he does well is he drops in and he makes, you know, I mean, he makes space, and you know he can make passes deep, which open up teams. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. So you know he's got the ability to do both, hasn't he? So
yeah, definitely. Be interested.
Glad he scored. I'm glad he scored. I think I'd like to see him add a couple more goals, because he's got lovely left foot and he's got a lovely left peg.
He can strike the ball well.
I remember that one against Cardiff last year when he hit the bar, didn't he?
That should have gone in. I hate the fact that that's not a goal.
He's just
got Derby as well.
Lovely.
Like that would
he's
have
got
been
a lovely left foot though.
Yeah,
statue. Yeah,
it would have been a statue outside the Liberty, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
I think we're still thinking about that, because he hit the bar, didn't he? Imagine come off the underside of the bar and then.
Nobody could ever talk down on him again if that had gone in, like ever.
Yeah. But I think we might see one this year. I think we might see a Grimes Thunderbolt in a game this year.
Well, to be fair, Duff did say that we're going to be more on the front foot, didn't he? You know, I mean, we're more front-footed team, which is, I think, what we need, to be honest with you, because under Russell Martin, I think, Southampton fans are about to find out. It's all well and good to pass the ball around in your own half, but, you know, you need that. You need to be further up the pitch. That's where you're going to get your goals. You're not going to get any goals 70 yards away from their net. So
it's interesting to see what it'll be like when we play against, you know, league opponents, because we played against like Bristol Rovers and Oxford and Reading, and no disrespect, but we are going to have more possession in those games naturally. Yeah. So it depends now when we play against, you know, like Southampton, Leicester, Leeds, you know, are we going to be a possession-based team? I guess we still don't kind of know what our baseline is at the moment, because it'd be like I'll wait and see what they do against Birmingham now at home. Are we still going to have, you know, 60% possession anyway? Or are we going to be a bit more dynamic in the sense that we'll just wait for opportunities? So I'm just looking forward to see what happens.
I think he said he's looking to still keep at the ball and play with the ball, just be more direct at attacking and purposeful.
Just depends. It depends how much. Like, I think it's going to be a difference in the sense that there's not going to be like passing for passing's sake. I think you're right. I think it's going to be direct.
When you play a team like Southampton, though, I think they will change to allow them to have the ball, I think, under Duff.
Yeah, but maybe that doesn't, you know, like Nicky was saying earlier, maybe we're not going to be so vulnerable on the, you know, on the counter-attack or against the counter-attack.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot more. He's got more than one game plan, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what's exciting.
Yeah, he seems like he's switched on for, you know, fella. So it's going to be an interesting season. Obviously, like you said, we're going to have teams which are probably going to have a bit more possession. That's the teams with a bit more quality than what we got. But, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that they're any better than what we have. We get the tactics right. You win games. You know what I mean? It's
different, isn't it? Because we said touched on it last time we talked about Russell Martin. It was, we're going to play this style no matter what game. So like we said, we were a bit predictable. But it sounds like with Duff, with what he's saying, he's going to sort of, you know, change it in the game, play a little bit different this week to next week.
Yeah.
You know, like we said, he can go one up top, two up top. You know, play two in midfield, one in front, whatever. So it looks like that's what I'm quite excited about. That even in the middle of the game, he might even be able to change it. Whereas we didn't see so much of that under Russell Martin.
Well, I know it's going to seem like a bit of a stupid statement, but do they think a little bit Laudrup-esque as in where we play the ball forward quicker. You
Yeah,
know,
oh, yeah.
when the opportunity comes, like because like Laudrup was famous for that, wasn't he? He was all for all keeping the ball, but when the opportunity arose to go quick and go,
Yeah.
you know, we were like really hard to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in them situations.
Picking in moments. Like.
Yeah. So obviously we haven't got the quality of the players that we had then, but you know what I mean? It just sort of sounds like he's just going to go, right, let's go. You know,
Yeah.
Pass the ball forward, get the balls in the box. Let's just not mess about.
Yeah, indeed. It was interesting you mentioned Russell Martin and the flows there, because I feel like it's kind of like deja vu seeing some of the headlines coming out to the Southampton camp after their friendlies. Don't know how you feel, but the headlines are like, the one I saw yesterday was we gave away 2 opportunities and ended up conceding 2 goals. Something along those lines. We should have won the game. So yeah,
seen one of the goals they conceded as well was like messing about the back and they made a mistake and somebody scored. I don't know what game it was, but it just popped up on my Twitter. But,
yeah.
It looks like the same old teething problems.
Circa Swansea City 22-23 season.
Yeah. Remember like the first couple of games when I think like our first league game and the Russell Martin was Blackburn and Bender was in goals and was just like messing around. I think we like conceded so many chances with Bender just dawdling on the ball.
Just crazy. It's just you just really think about it now, don't you? And just go for how many points have we dropped there possibly, and we were only 3 points off the playoffs in the end. I know we had a good run towards the end. To be fair, we got to get in that one. But how many points have we dropped there?
Enough.
Yeah,
a lot of points.
Speaking of Bender, jumping ahead a little bit, but while you mentioned him, he's been linked to the move to Fulham.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Apparently Fulham are keeping tabs and are interested in potentially looking at him.
Well, that's
interesting.
Goals, has it played for a year?
Well,
all Fulham's options and keep goalkeeper wise. Can't think who they got.
I'm not sure. I can find out.
That's not one. If we think like
Bert Leno's a goalkeeper, isn't
he? Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Backup, I'd imagine then.
If you back up, I should imagine. Like, I think he's probably a decent keeper. Bender, he's a good shot stopper when it comes to the ball. I think he might do well under Duff, but obviously we got brought rush with it now. But
it's hard, isn't it? Because you think like at one stage they were looking to offload Bender, weren't they? When they looked like he was going to go to Peterborough.
It's just being reported by Planet Swans. Not sure how much substance is behind it at the moment. Apparently there was speculation last week that Swans are maybe looking to move Bender on, but
oh god,
I think there's another keeper they move on before that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that Bender was going to come back and be number 1, to be honest, but maybe not. Maybe this Ashworth coming in is in case Bender leaves.
I think Bender's contract's up next summer.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's got part of it.
Seems to be a lot then.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know if he's spoken about not wanting to extend, but you'd think they'd just be looking to extend him.
Well, seeing as he was the first choice goalkeeper, well, I know Fisher started the first few fixtures, but he sort of came into his own Bender then, didn't he? But you've seen as he was looking like he was going to be number 1 until he got his injury.
Yeah.
You would think that he maybe want to sign an extension, wouldn't he?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Going back to the friendly then, just quickly wrap up. Perot got 2 goals, and Mac Grimes actually assisted one of them, didn't he, with a lovely cross. So, again, he had a lot of assists last season. He got 8 assists last season, so perhaps continuing where he left off there. And Jerry Yates also got his first goal of pre-season. Didn't he... Wasn't he like benefiting of some good press in play, that one? Yeah,
they pressed high, and the goalkeeper sort of tried past it to the defender, but it just taps it in. It was a bit of a mistake from them, but they were high pressing, so it's good for him just to get off the mark. But Perot's first goal was a lovely goal.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, it's a great finish.
Yeah, definitely good to see them both scoring there. Maybe a little bit more evidence of what Duff's going to try and do, because again, pressing is a big part of his approach, especially in the early game. It's odd though. Just going back to the Reading game, they played so well, scored 4 goals. They looked clinical, and then the 2 friendlies before that looked completely different, like the Bristol Rovers game and the Oxford game. Yeah, but sometimes in pre-season, you just don't know what the manager's after, do you? Maybe he was
Yeah.
just looking for certain things.
Yeah, that's
Not
what I was thinking.
necessarily like, don't worry about the result, just show me these things. And then this is the one before the league, and it's all right, put it all in place together now and go and get the result.
Yeah, because like the game before those two friendlies, I think they beat Newport like 5-0, didn't they? So they were
I
scoring
wouldn't
goals.
read too much into that.
No, but I'm saying like, and
Newport
then
got hammered by someone else after that, didn't they? In the league. Was it Bristol?
no, yeah, I'm not reading too much into like the results. But what I mean is like the performance. We looked like we were going, scoring 5 goals, and then the goals dried up. It didn't look like we had many chances in the Oxford game and the Bristol game, and then the Reading game was totally different. So I think you're right. I think they were looking at like fitness maybe. I read somewhere. I don't know how true it is, but I read somewhere that they like for like the Oxford game they like trained in the day and then played the game in the night. So it was like they were doing their main focus was getting 90 minutes in, because I think a lot of players had their first 90 minutes in that Oxford game. So maybe it was that, because then like the way Swans Twitter is, everybody was panicking when we lost to Oxford and lost to Bristol Rovers.
I know.
And then we looked great against Reading, and so you never know, until the first game. You never know what's going to happen until the actual first league game. So.
Nope. The only other things that I think I want to put out is Abdullahi starting at right back this time, left back in last game. Do you think we're going to see him start in the first game of the season?
Depends if you sign anyone, doesn't it? I thought I was very impressed with him.
But even then, like a new signing might not
start. No, you're right. Yeah, I was very impressed with him. I would put him in. He looked attacking, didn't he? Dangerous, quick feet, good on the ball. Wanted to go at, his opposite number, didn't he? So, I was very impressed with him. Same with Josh Key. I think he's probably been the best. He's been the best out of the signings in pre-season. He's shown that he's got a bit of quality. Like I said, good with his feet again. I've been really impressed with both of them there. I think it'll be both been good.
Yeah, the other new signing got his first minutes too, Josh Giannelli. Don't know if I probably said his name wrong again.
No, I think that's
right.
I'm
not sure how he says it. Giannelli or I think it's Giannelli. But it's strange because I thought he was kind of a winger, and then when he came on against Reading, might need to watch it back a bit, but it looked like he sort of put him on through the middle.
Well, he came on for Peru.
But this is what I'm saying. Maybe he come on as a little bit deeper, but through the middle, as like a deeper forward rather than a striker. But it looks like he was going through the middle.
Yeah, when I read up on him, apparently he can play striker, winger, or like just behind the striker. So he's just a versatile forward style player. But we're not using wingers, are we? So I guess
it's a good option to have.
Yeah,
I think
it's different, isn't it? There's different strikers there, different forwards that offer something different when they're on the pitch.
Oh yeah, I think it's quite exciting, isn't it, to see like you said, we've got obviously you've got Pirro, which is your marksman, Yates, who scored 14 league goals in a struggling Blackpool team, who's a different player to Pirro, who's a bit more of a workhorse. And you've got Giannelli, who looks like he can run. You know what I mean? It's quite exciting to see that we've got different types of players who can cause different problems for opposition.
Well, I was thinking as well when I looked at our lineup in the other friendlies, I was thinking, oh God, we look a bit short here. I was thinking, we look like, we're struggling a bit. But then when I was looking at like picking the team for Saturday, I was thinking we've got quite a few options here. There's quite a few players that could miss out in a lot of match day squads that the decent players. So it's quite exciting.
Yeah, I was going to say about that because if you look at the substitutes for this game, it looks like he has done like a league match simulation. He's only used 5 subs, which is what you're allowed these days. Joe Allen, Josh Giannelli, obviously Joe Allen again his first preseason minutes as well. Jamie Patterson, Carl Norton, and Liam Cullen came on. And out of the people who didn't come on, Ollie Cooper is probably the one that's going to be a little bit sweating on his involvement early season maybe. And obviously Liam Walsh is not around because of injury, so he's another one that's not featuring. And that's before the guys that have come in since this game. So what do you think of Ollie Cooper? Do you think he's up against it a little bit? And Cham, sorry, he wasn't there either, was he?
I think Cham started, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. Might take that.
I think no.
I thought he was on the plane to Turkey. I'm joking.
I think I think you're right. I think Cooper struggled to get back into the team last year, didn't he? The back end when they were playing really well, he
Yeah.
didn't play as much, and I think that sort of carried on. I think in Cham, I think like you said, we've got quite a lot of options in that area now. Like if he's going to operate behind the striker, which I think is probably his position, isn't it? Rather than being where like Grimes and Fulton would play.
It's difficult.
I think in Cham being there and Perot as an option to drop deep, and Giannelli
And
probably
Patterson.
play in that position, and Patterson as well. I just forgot about Patterson. I think it's a hard. There's a lot of options there, so I think he's going to struggle to get it. He's going to struggle to get back into the team.
He's just got to try and force his way, isn't he? He's got to show the manager why. But like,
Well, he did it.
in players like in Cham and Patterson, it's hard, isn't it? Because like these are players when they fully fit and they go 100 mile an hour, they can win you a game just as much as Perot can. You know what I mean? They've got that little bit of magic to turn someone and produce something that's quite special. But I just don't know. Well, I don't want to be made. Well, I would like to be made to eat my words. I don't know if Ollie Cooper's got that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I think you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. I think
Ability
he's
to beat someone and just and do something a bit insane. Find someone or strike one from 30 yards and go in the top corner, which obviously we've seen in Cham and Patterson do that, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
think you're right. Yeah.
So
I think like what we saw last year with Cooper was like he gives you a good like consistent performance.
yeah.
So like throughout the game he plays well, and I know. And then you're right. Like I think like you could play in Cham in a game, not see him, but then he could score like
But
the
you need
winning
players
goal.
that in your squad. Like you need Ollie Cooper's in your team, which it's a long old championship season against, and it's probably going to be the toughest season that we're probably going to see for a while.
Yeah.
So somebody that's going to give you a 7, 8, 7 out of 10 every week. You're going to need them in and around your team because he's going to come in. He's going to play. Of course, he's going to play.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make changes and stuff, and as the season goes
Yeah.
on. So the fact that we've got a couple of options now, as the squad as it is now, I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I think it could be quite a big breakthrough year if he can get himself in. And obviously, still got time on his side, so maybe he's got more to show as the years develop. But we'll have to wait and see. Patterson and Cham. You say in Cham is technically in his prime years of his career, and Patterson's at the tail end. So they're at different stages, all three of them in their career, and I guess it's on Ollie Cooper to show why he should be the one on the pitch.
In Cham.
If in Cham's as hot as cold as he usually is, then I'm sure it won't take long anyways.
But I just never think he's 100% fit. He's never fit, is he? You know what I mean? Like when he was at, I know, like we talk, well, I'm not slagging the Scottish League off, like, but when he was at Celtic, you know what I mean? He was very impressive when he was fit. He was very impressive, wasn't he? But like, I just love to see him fit one season when he's just fit. I know, and he just goes out there and he goes 100 miles an hour. I think he could go with the double figures with goals.
He's such a frustrating player to watch because I think we went through a stage last season. I think I went through a stage where I was like, I'm happy for him to go. I gave up on him because he was doing my head in so much. But then, like last season, then he seemed to pitch in with quite a lot of goals, didn't he? Every now and then he didn't seem to do much. I think he scored quite a few goals last year, didn't he? Quite at crucial times as well.
Yeah.
I think he scored a lot of like equalisers in the second half. We were like 1-0 down. He scored a lot of equalisers and winning goals as well. But
he can be a big player.
Yeah, he's so frustrating because he's just one of them players where you think like he could be like the best player in the championship if he turned it on every week. He could be that good, and then you don't see it. So, but then when I saw the rumours about him going to Turkey, I don't know if it's true or not. I was a bit gutted because I think, like you said, if you can get him fit and play him well, I think he like you said, he could easily get double figures out of him from midfield.
He's another player with 1 year left on his deal. So,
oh God,
I think it's going to be a big year for him, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's one of them seasons where like they probably looked at him and gone, "We haven't got the best from you. Are you worth the wages for another contract?" Where I think if he can get him consistently playing until January, they probably will offer him a new deal. If he, But I think it's a bit like Walsh, isn't it? When he plays, he looks great. You know, but
I want to say he's got a year left on his deal as well. So there's a little bit of contract work to be done this year.
We won't have a team next year.
I know we have got a team for next year.
Well, Martin was saying this, though, wasn't he? That we need to start thinking a little bit further ahead rather than waiting for this to happen all the time. That's one of the things he was talking about a lot. Right, let's move on anyway. While we're on the team, I'll flip it around and we'll look at Lee's team selection quickly before we do the predictions.
Okay.
So this is what Lee thinks is going to be the team to start against Birmingham. So we haven't talked about any transfers, so I'll quickly round them up before we get stuck in here. So I'm going to have, we've signed a Ukrainian striker.
Yeah.
Ken, if you want to try and
I
tell me his name.
I watched his video earlier, and he did say how to pronounce it, but
Nicola, is that right?
yeah,
Kuharovic.
yeah, something like that. But I'm gonna have to watch it another four times before I try and have a think.
Okay, so yes, go and watch his introduction video, and he will tell you how his name is pronounced. We won't be, but he's a Ukrainian striker. Where did you say he played? Hibs, was it?
Hibs, he was at, yeah.
On loan, and he scored 5.
He scored 5 in 10 starts at Hibs,
and he had a long injury afterwards, I believe. Yeah,
yeah, he did.
So
yeah.
youngster, 3-year deal, I think it is. Maybe an extension option after that. That usually is the normal thing they're offering at the moment. Undisclosed fee from French club Troyes. So welcome. He's a tall striker, so he's offering something different again. Maybe giving another option for Duff. We're talking about the options and the different game plans that he is maybe going to use through the season, and the signings are kind of backing that up. And we've also signed a goalkeeper. We've already mentioned him, Carl Rushworth, on loan from Brighton.
Yeah, I just going back to the striker. That's quite exciting because I know, like, we always moaned when we were, Reading used to bring on Andy Carroll and they'd pump it forward, or teams would always bring on a tall striker and pump it forward at the end of the game. But we're naive in thinking that why not have that as an option? Like, if they can bring him on.
I tell you what, right? I watched a couple of clips of him actually playing for Hibs, and he's actually quite quick for a big guy. He's strong. He just looks like he's a young, strong lad, and he looks like he's quite quick. He holds people off and that. One of the goals he scored, he runs in behind and he gets in, and he's a lovely finish. But he looks like he can do a bit of everything, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's good. And I was going to say earlier, actually, Duff's actually brought quite a bit of pace in with his new signings, and we were crying out for that last year. So I'm happy to see that being the case. So what do we think of Lee's team then? He's going straight in with Rushworth in goals.
Yeah,
really not confident with Andy Fisher.
I think with them bringing him in, with bringing Rushworth in on a season-long loan, I think they're going to be looking to play him. I think he'll be going straight in, and I think we said enough about Fisher last year. I know, like, he did actually play well in the run-in, but he cost us points last year, like, with mistakes, and then we saw him do another one against Oxford, and I think you can't risk it. Yeah. I think Rushworth goes straight in.
Right, Lee. So standard back three. I think no one's really going to have any issues with that. And Key as well. But who would you pick instead of Ashby? Because we haven't actually signed Ashby by recording the podcast. I maybe we will. We apparently should be signing him by the time Birmingham kicks off.
Yeah,
and that'll be another conversation if he comes straight in or not. So say Ashby does come straight in if we sign him. That's obviously your opinion. If he doesn't get signed, who's there?
Yeah, I think he plays Abdullahi, doesn't he? I think he goes with who started against. Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Maybe he goes with. I think he'll go with what he started with at Reading then. If Ashby doesn't come in, I'm expecting him to come in before the weekend. But depending how close he comes in. But I think if we don't get him in, he'll put Key on the left like he did on Saturday and put Abdullahi on the right.
I agree.
So I've done. If you're listening on Spotify, I've got as my defenders. We've got Rushworth starting goals. I've got Cabango in the middle of a back three with Darling and Wood either side of him. Key as the right wing back, and I'm assuming we're going to sign Ashby before Saturday, and I think he will go straight in on the left.
Big cool.
I think he will. I think like Abdullahi played very well. He came off with a knock as well, didn't he? Norton came on. So maybe I don't know. He's probably just brought him off to give Norton a run out, but I think he'll put him straight in Ashby if they sign him. It's a bit of a shame, really, because I'd like to see that Abdullahi have some more game time, but
maybe
we obviously need someone in that area.
If he's going to be the second choice, cover, then he'd probably get some games, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
That's probably where he's at for his career.
That Ashby has had some minutes in pre-season as well, for Newcastle. So it's not like we just bring in a player in who's just sitting on the bench and then he's just got to come into do a 90-minute full game. He's had a bit of pre-season. I know it's like obviously different people to a different team and a different system. You know what I mean? But if he does come in, he has had minutes under his belt. So you would think that if he did sign within the allotted time, that he would probably come either in or definitely come off the bench.
Yeah. Okay, so the rest, there's no changes from the Reading game. You've got Grimes, Felton. You've lined up with Ncham and Perot behind Yates rather than Ncham behind Yates and Perot.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe it's a fluid system. I know you already mentioned the reasons for it really in the Reading talk. And on the bench, then we got Fisher, Norton, Abdullahi, Allen, Patterson, Cooper, Janelli, Cullen, and the new Ukrainian striker.
Yeah, I read K. Yeah, I read. I didn't realize this. I was reading before we came on, and we can have 9 substitutes this year. Last year was
Yeah, it's a
7,
new rule, isn't it?
and you can use 9. To be fair, lucky we can have 9 because I was struggling to pick a bench, to be honest. With 7.
Let's call him MK.
MK, there we go.
Right,
MK.
okay.
But yeah, like we said earlier, I think I put Perot and then Cham there, but I think it's more, Perot just a little bit behind Yates within Cham there as well. And maybe when we haven't got the ball, I think in Cham and Perot will drop a little bit deeper. But it seemed like Perot was, getting forward, coming in late. And that's what's really exciting because I think like Perot was a bit isolated on his own when he's sometimes up top. So I think if Yates is making those, traditional 9 runs into the box and Perot is coming in late and in Cham as well, I think it's quite scary.
Should be a good combination. I hope we get to see it. Or we'll have to see it.
You know what I was struggling with? I don't know what you boys think about this. I was looking at, we got Norton and Abdullahi on the bench. It's 2 full-backs. So I was thinking, is he going to play? Would you have Brandon Cooper on the bench instead to have a
Norton can cover both, can he?
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe they'll just use Norton as to cover everywhere, basically, and then have another
Gives you more
full-back.
options up top then.
Yeah.
Because you don't really change your defenders unless there's an injury quite often, do you? So if you got one person that can fit into any of them, I'd imagine you'll have 2 defenders on the bench. Norton will definitely be one of them.
Yeah, I think imagine it was 7 subs like last year. We're struggling. Like Abdullahi would probably miss out, which is unfortunate. And then you use Norton to cover.
That's the reason for it, isn't it? Is to allow the youth to get more minutes.
Yeah, it's good. And then I was struggling who else to drop from that bench because you'd have to drop out, Allen, Patterson, Cooper, Janelli, Cullen, and the new striker.
Yeah,
there's a lot of options. You got Walsh just got to come back in as well.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to our predictions then, because we've pushed for time. But we'll try and get through this. I know we didn't touch on Joel Perot, but the latest on that is apparently he's due to stay now, by all accounts. So interesting turn of events. Don't know how much I believe it yet, though, but I'll believe that when transfer deadline day has passed. And I'm also not sure what I think of it because, I love the fact that he would be here for another year. Don't get me wrong, but how much is it going to hurt to see him go for free next year if we don't go up?
Well, and he can sign a pre-contract with anybody he wants in January.
Yeah, and also if we don't go up, it wasn't worth keeping him.
No,
but we won't know that until that point.
But,
and obviously that's the risk you take.
I don't know.
Unless someone comes in with a good offer, I would happily keep him for another season, especially seeing what he could do on Saturday.
Yeah,
you know exactly.
I would take the risk.
Somebody's going to try and lowball us on a deadline day. Take 6 million or something daft, and for the sake of something like 6-7 million, I'd rather keep him.
I'd rather keep him for that much.
I can't see. I'd be unless and like we talked before we came on about selling to a rival team in the league, and I think that hurts even more, doesn't it? Because obviously it's not his fault if another team doesn't come in for him, even though there's talks of maybe Atlanta. But because obviously they send that Hoyland to Man United, it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think it would just hurt as well. But on ambition side as well, I know these Leeds and Leicesters and Southamptons have more of a chance maybe of going up than us, but not necessarily say they will. I think it's just ambition for him. Where is he looking to go? We always got he's 23.
Something like that. Yeah.
So he should be either looking to go to the Premier League or maybe go to a better team abroad, not Leeds or Leicester. You know what I mean? But that's
surprised how young he still is. I forgot he's only 23. So he's not.
Give me one extension. 1 year extension. Come on, Perro. 1 more year. We'll sell you for a fair price next year.
But it's strange because he's been he started in every pre-season game. I know in all fairness to him, he's probably just being professional, isn't he? Like if he's still
good
here,
on him.
he's still here, and he's playing, and he's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, good on him.
But I wonder how things will change when, just for argument's sake, if he scores 2 on Saturday against Birmingham, and then we got West Brom away the week after, he scores another one, and then you've got deadline day coming up. Then I think someone, I think one of those clubs you talked about, Leeds and Leicester, I think one of them will come in with a panic bid late. I think, and it'll be quite high. I think they'll panic.
Depends how they get off to their season, how they start.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I think because it'd be easy for us to say now, when the 3 teams that came down to be the top 3, but it never works out. Someone always starts bad, and I think you're right. I think Pro will be like, I don't know, 3 games in 2, 3 goals in 2, 4 goals in 3, something like that, and they'll be like, shit, right, we've had a bad start to the season. 17 million, 18 million. Let's bring him in.
Or he doesn't score before the deadline.
Don't play him. Don't play him.
Give Yates a goal.
Yeah, don't play him.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of top 3 and all the rest of it, we'll move on to our predictions now. I'm sure there'll be a lot more Joe Peru talk in the next few weeks, so we'll look forward to that. And we'll have to see what happens with it, I guess. It's just an ever-moving situation. But yeah, I know we're definitely not going to keep to 45 minutes, but there we go. It is what it is. Just we're trying.
It's just pre-season.
Yeah, it's pre-season. There's a lot to fit in there, especially. I'll clip this bit out, definitely. There was a individual video for the pre-season table prediction. So here we go then. We're going to make a start. This is the Swans cast pre-season championship 23-24 table prediction. So we'll do it using this tier maker from left to right in terms of like the first ranked team to the least ranked team in each tier, if that makes sense. And for those listening, obviously I'll read out the order as well. Right then.
I think this is the hardest season ever to predict this.
Well, we're doing this. We're going to go through the clubs in order down here, or we're going to go through like start champions.
I think you should just go through probably the teams and where you think you're going to.
Birmingham, then we can refine. Like, say we put Birmingham here, we can refine the positions later when we put clubs in there. Yeah, Birmingham then. So the tiers are, for those listening, champions, which obviously is 1 team, automatic promotion, which will be 1 team, playoffs, which will be 4 teams. Then we'll have 7th to 10th, 11th to 16th, 17th to 21st, and the 3 relegated teams. So Birmingham, where are we thinking their season is going to take them?
Well, they've got money now, haven't they? And
how much have they spent?
They've spent quite a bit of money. I believe they've spent quite a bit of money. So I don't know if you agree with me. I don't think again the playoffs, but I think they'll just be outside the playoffs for me. Personally.
7th to 10th, interesting.
Yeah, I think it'd just be just lingering about.
Or do you think just lower? 7th to 10th. So you're saying tricky first game of the season then?
Yeah, I think it will be. I think that's going to be a bit of a test.
This could change when we go through all the clubs and realise we haven't got enough positions, but we'll see.
Yeah, it might change at the end, but I think you are right. I think they're going to be one of them teams. I think that will have a decent season. I think normally you'd always put them in that 17th to 21st bracket, but I think they might make a step up this year.
Well, they've had a few dodgy years, haven't they? So I think a big club like Birmingham, at some point they're going to be awoken and they're going to. I've come for a bit of push, so I think they might have a decent team.
They've got a decent manager. Obviously, we wanted to get him before you went there, so
yeah,
useless.
Yeah, I would say 11th to 16th myself, but we'll see. I'll keep him in 7th to 10th and see who else we got. Blackburn Rovers.
Well, they're struggling. I know for a fact they're struggling. They're struggling for money, and
there's a couple of players are left, haven't they?
Yeah, Dak has gone to Sunderland, hasn't he? But mind you, he's never fit. But when he's fit, he's good. But I think they might struggle this year.
So where are we thinking?
Go on, Lee. You can put this one in.
I would put them in the. I'd put them in. I want to say the 17th, 21st mark at the moment.
Oh, big call.
I think I might struggle this year.
Yeah, well, it's just one of them though. It's just you have that feeling at the beginning of the season. Yeah, there's no logic to it.
They might win the
league.
That's the way the championship works. So you never know. They might,
We might get completely wrong.
Bristol City. I think they're probably looking better than they have to in a lot of other pre-seasons. They have done.
I haven't really seen who's gone in and out of that club, to be honest with you. So I'm a bit on the unknown.
Their fans are quite optimistic about their season ahead. That's what I can tell you.
I think everyone is, isn't it? Going back a bit though, I just pulled up some transfers just to help us a bit. But I was looking like Blackburn have lost, like we said, lost Dak and Diaz has gone as well. But I was looking back at Birmingham, and I didn't realise Ethan Laird has gone there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and Tyler Roberts.
They've signed some decent players, and they've obviously. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but that lad that we was linked with from Werder Bremen, it looks like he's gone there as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he's gone as well. Yeah, that Buchanan, that left back.
He looks like that he's gone there. So
they've got two good fullbacks. Yeah.
It's Bristol then. I'm going to say maybe conservative in the 11th to 16th mid-table.
I go with that.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'm happy with that.
It's just tough. Like I'm saying, these teams are optimistic, but there's so many. I feel like it's a strong league. And maybe mid-table is not even a bad result for some teams, whereas they would have been higher before. But that's competitive. Cardiff,
relegated. No,
I mean they've made.
I've seen a lot of people say
transfer embargo.
I've seen a lot of people say like I've done this and I've put Cardiff in the bottom three, but I think they're going to be alright. I think they've come through.
Mid-table. I say mid-table.
Yeah, I was thinking near Bristol. I would say.
I think mid-table, but I think like I think they've been lucky in the last 2 seasons with the point deductions to like Reading and teams. And they would have gone to League One.
They were lucky last year for sure.
So I think they've come out of that, and I think signing like Ramsey and they signed that Mate from Reading as well. Carl and Grant they signed as well, didn't they?
Imagine signing Ramsey and getting relegated.
Carl and Grant, and I heard rumours they were going to bring in Kiefer Moore back as well from Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's true. If they could bring him in, they might have an even better season.
Yeah.
So,
based on current squads, we go in there.
I would probably go there. To be fair, like with Ramsey as well, he can be a difference maker, but keeping him fit. I know he played quite a lot of games for Nice last year, but Championship's a tough old league. People are they're gonna know his quality and they're gonna go after him. So.
It's the same with us with Joe Allen. Like you won't get 90 minutes out of him Tuesday, Saturday.
No.
Yeah. Okay. This one I think is a big one. Coventry City. Now they have got money because Gyökeres obviously went to Portugal somewhere.
But it depends if they spend it well.
They brought in that Sims, haven't they?
Yeah.
He's been scoring in pre-season.
I'm just looking at a year now. So they brought in Sims. Some of the players I haven't heard of. Obviously, they brought in Latabodier and they brought in Jay De Silva from Bristol City as well, didn't they? Left back. And I don't know who this is, but they spent 4 million on a right back from Holland.
I think they're going to have a decent season, to be honest.
So I think, I
won't put them off playoffs, but if you want to do 7 to 10, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy to put them into 7 to 10 for now. I can't commit to giving them playoffs yet.
Ahead of Birmingham, though, I think.
Yeah. Let's not forget, they lost the playoff final, so I think they're a decent side, aren't they?
They are a decent side. It's just, I don't know, like sometimes when you lose like a player like Gyökeres, it's like, Gyökeres, I don't know. I think you either sink or swim, don't you? You either spend it well and you go push again, or you really struggle to replace what he's given you, don't you?
Yeah.
So.
But they seem to be spreading the fee around, don't they? So
Sims for me though, when he was at Sunderland, obviously I went to watch a few Sunderland games last year, but we watched him play. It's hard to explain him. For a big man, he's weak. He knows where the net is, but he never found it that often enough. It was just he was a weird player. Like if you think like if he could turn it on, he could score a lot of goals, but he just never turned it on enough. If you know what I mean. He was just a weird player. I always thought Sunderland, but different system might suit him. Different system might suit him. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. They're very optimistic as well. That's what I can tell you that. Huddersfield.
I'm 17-21, I would say.
Ahead or behind Blackburn?
Warnock's there, isn't he? He's still there?
Is he still there?
I think he's still there, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I thought he only signed a 1-year contract, or is he staying?
I thought
he's retired, really. So is he the same Warnock as he used to be?
No, he's still there. He's still there.
Nobody retired once, is what I'm saying.
I was going to say that I'm happy to put them 17 to 21 for now, or maybe we push. But I was going to put them as potential relegation candidate. But I think if they've got Warnock, I think they'll probably stay up.
Yeah. Right. I agree.
Well, Warnock got sacked at Cardiff. It's not like he's a miracle maker.
No, but they'll be hard to beat, don't they? Don't forget they were really struggling when they came in.
Yeah,
they were going to go down.
He brought them back from the brink a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, they were gone. Yeah, when he came in.
Yeah,
So,
did.
in all fairness to him.
Fair enough.
I'm just looking. They haven't done much. They haven't done much movement in the transfer
I don't think
market.
they got any money, have they?
Nah, it looks like they haven't spent any money. They got a free transfer goalkeeper from Blackpool.
I think their trip
And
to
they
the
signed a
Premier
right
League
back.
has kind of really, really screwed them financially.
Yeah,
Probably spent more money than they had. I know they're struggling, like a bit like what we did. We're still paying for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Bad transfers.
yeah, but our owners don't get that much credit, but I guess they stabilised it a little bit when they came down. Maybe
Yeah,
not
but,
everyone's agreement, but we could have been worse.
We could be a lot worse. Yeah, we could have been a lot worse.
Hull City.
Do what, right? I actually fancy him to be near the bottom. I do. I don't know. I know they got the Liam Rosini in charge there. You know, we played
We're
against
chucking them in here for now then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fancy me.
I think they got money, don't they? They spent a lot of money last year, and didn't they? They spent like 10 or 15 million on a striker because they got those Turkish owners now, haven't they?
Yeah, they got Turkish owners. Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm with you. I'd put them as a candidate to be lower down.
Ipswich.
There's only one more place in that section, just so you know.
There's a lot of teams going. We're gonna have to start pushing one down into the.
Yeah, we got
Well, look how much we're sitting on the fence. We literally just put everybody in the middle.
For
We're gonna
those
have to start
listening,
making
yeah.
decisions.
17 to 21st is Blackburn, Huddersfield, and Hull at the moment. So if you watch on YouTube, obviously you can see Ipswich. I think out of the teams that have come up, are going to do quite well. They got money.
They have. I also fancy Sheffield Wednesday to do quite well.
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
I thought out of
I
the
agree.
three of them, they maybe would be the one.
No,
that doesn't.
I agree. If I had to pick one of the three to do better, it would be Sheffield
fine.
Wednesday for me.
That's what the controversial opinions
I
come
put-
in,
I
and I
put
can
Ipswich-
tell you wrong at the end of the season.
I put
We'll come back to
Ipswich probably where we got them now, mid-table. I don't think it go down. I don't think it go down.
Do they go ahead of Cardiff or Bristol or behind?
In between.
Yeah.
How's
Maybe
that?
Cardiff. Yeah,
We
no,
split
in
the
11th.
We split the difference. Split the difference.
I like that.
Didn't Sheffield Wednesday lose their manager?
Darren Moore, yeah, he's left.
Yeah, it did actually.
But we don't always who they brought in, do we? Well,
George Byers can score against us. Leeds United then,
Here we go.
I would play off.
playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. Leicester City.
signed Ampadu.
Leeds.
Are
I
they?
think, yeah. This is his first permanent move, isn't it?
Yep.
Since he's,
Always said he was a championship level player.
yeah. I think he'd do well, Leeds, to be fair.
Probably will.
I think he'd do
I
well.
just think everyone thought he was like amazing, and I always thought he was a bit overrated. Not gonna lie.
I still can't believe Tyler Roberts went from Leeds to Birmingham. I think that's a good signing.
Championship.
They have to clear out some wages probably.
And
don't
he
they?
signed him for 400k as well.
Oh, what about Swans in on that?
That's a hell of a signing now. It's 400k.
Somebody
I know,
runs,
that's a great
runs
signing.
his legs off as well, didn't he? He scores a few goals.
Well, we got Yates instead, I guess.
We got Yates. We spent $2.5 million there.
Yeah.
Hopefully Yates scores about 30 goals a season then, just to shut us up.
Yeah.
Leicester.
I think they champions me.
Yeah.
Oh.
They'd be ridiculous. No, it'd be ridiculous if they're not first or second.
Okay, fair.
They signed in the championship. They signed Harry Winks for 11 million, and they signed Connor Cody for 8 million.
I'm surprised Winks has dropped down. I thought you could have done a job in the Prem.
I know
A
they
lower league
lost
side,
Madison.
yeah, like a mid-table side maybe in the Premier League, yeah. But it just shows that Leicester's got a bit of pulling power in the wages, haven't they?
Don't forget, but I think they are one of the teams I think that are going to look at it like, like when Newcastle and West Ham came down, they're looking at it as like this is just a 1 year stay in it.
Spend to get up. Let's do it.
Yeah, because Vardy staying, he's going to get 15 goals in Championship.
If he can stay fit.
10. Let me put that back down to 10.
He's old now,
five.
isn't he?
5 of them against the Swans.
Yeah, he's going to get goals, isn't he?
Middlesbrough.
They had a good year last year. Carrick in charge. Ooh.
I think they'd be up somewhere.
I don't know if they'll quite make the playoffs.
7th to 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be.
I
Right.
think
We're gonna have to
they are a
stand.
good
Where
team,
though?
but
Higher or lower than Birmingham?
I
and
would put
Coventry?
them higher than Coventry.
Just missing out then.
Yeah. I think
Millwall.
they got a good team. Millwall.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is this is getting so hard.
I think. They had a good year as well, didn't they? Millwall. But it's
They
always
got in. They got in the playoffs now.
Yeah.
Did they get in the playoffs?
No,
Yeah,
they
did
did. Did they?
Their fans are not very confident. If that helps.
No, didn't they miss out on the last game of the season?
because they needed to win. They were up, weren't they? And then they lost. They were 1-0.
Oh, they got hammered, didn't they? Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Blackburn, wasn't it? Blackburn and all. I think I might get relegated.
Oh,
I'm being that guy.
from the cusp of the playoffs to relegation.
No, because
Oh,
there's
God.
always one team that majorly struggles, isn't it?
Well,
They managed-
don't forget. Well, Barnsley did it, didn't they? They got to the playoffs and then they got relegated the next year.
That's
So-
a big call.
you got to think sometimes they might lose a few players. Obviously, like maybe they've been promised if they get up, new contracts and things like that. But they might have lost. I don't know the ins and outs of what Millwall have had in and out. But
I think they might struggle a
I
bit
got-
compared
I
to
got
last
relegated.
year. I don't know if I go
Let's have a look.
relegated.
They signed
You-
a player
we won
from
the vote.
Belgium.
we got to go on a voting system here. Whoever gets the most votes, put them in the thing. So I'm going to go relegation. You go where you feel you need to go.
I reckon 11th to 16th. Lee?
I was going to say 17 to 21. So we've got.
Well,
three
that means
different-
it's in the middle, so I guess they go there. Where
Right, go on
though?
in.
Because we've got Blackburn, Huddersfield, and Hull.
I fancy.
Luke,
I
if Millwall get relegated, right? You'll be fine.
Well,
If
listen,
they
we'll have to
don't,
clip
I
this
will
out,
be
won't we? And then, like,
we'll come back to this. We'll come back.
yeah.
fine.
Where did you say, Lee?
But I anywhere in there because some of these are going to have to move. I can see the teams
I
coming
think
up.
it might-
And
I think
it's
it might
just
have to
going to be
move.
so hard. Yeah.
So
There's only one
that
place
fits.
left there now.
Right.
Yeah.
Norwich? I
I think
reckon
I'll have a
playoffs.
better year. I think I have a better year. Yeah, I think I'll have
Playoffs, yeah.
Playoffs. Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Plymouth?
relegation. I don't think they've signed enough. I know they signed
I-
Whittaker.
Oh, Morgan Whittaker's going to keep him up.
I don't think they've signed enough.
Yeah, I think relegation as well. I think
I was
they're
being
the
nice
one
to
that
them when I
struggle.
went on their pre-season video, and now you made me look like a plank.
No, I know.
We don't know, do you? We don't know.
No, you don't know, but I just don't know if they've got enough there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Whittaker, Whittaker's probably going to be the main man this year. If he gets injured or anything,
I said that their manager looks like he's got something about him, so maybe he can.
maybe what was it, Michael
Yeah, so we'll
Schumacher?
see. We'll see. But I was
Schumacher.
writing off Sheffield Wednesday out there, like to keep them up. So, and maybe you just.
I don't know.
the other way around.
To be fair, I hope they have a good year. Actually, Plymouth. I do. 'Cause I don't mind Plymouth. To be fair, but
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind Plymouth. Wouldn't mind going to Plymouth actually.
Preston, I think they'd probably be roundabouts where they always are. Probably in that mid gap. Would you say?
11th to 16th,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
I know they had a decent year last year, but didn't they? But
Cool. QPR. Now, I think relegated after that 3-4 last season. Put my
They
hand
signed.
up
They
there.
signed Jack Colback.
Wow.
oh,
I'm just looking. I'm just looking at their signings. See, I'm not sure because I think you've got teams like Preston, for example. I think we're probably right in putting them in 11th to 16th, and QPR that have just been in the Championship for so long. And I just think they could just be like one sort of bad season away from dropping out. So I like Preston being one of them as well. Like I don't know.
but it's funny though, isn't it? Because you could have one, like you said, what was in the championship, but they sometimes just have a mad year, don't they?
Exactly.
So, what do you think about QPR then?
QPR, I think 17 to 21. I don't know.
Have we got a space in that 17 to
Yeah,
21?
you've got one space.
Yeah, I'd put them in there for now then.
Where? Just missing out or higher?
I put them nearer to the relegation zone, not the ball.
Yeah, maybe just missing out.
Okay. Rotherham. I think maybe relegated as well.
I think relegated.
I think relegation there.
Higher or lower than Plymouth?
Higher. I'm
Again.
really doing Plymouth here, so sorry anybody from Plymouth who's watching. So.
Yeah. I stuck up for you guys. So
I feel sorry. Rotherham are one of those teams. They always come up and do well, but like they haven't got money. They just can't never sign players. Can
it's
they?
good
They
if they stay up all the time, and yeah, that's kind of where they are.
They should have stayed up that COVID year. because Cardiff saved them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, I would have had QPR in relegation instead of these. I'm guessing you two are going to put them in relegation.
No, I don't think Sheffield Wednesday go down.
No?
No, I think Sheffield Wednesday.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I meant I would have QPR in relegation, and I would have put Sheffield Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield Wednesday are going to finish higher.
What do you reckon?
I think they'll be all right as well. I think they'll. I think they'll do well.
I'm going to go.
Who is their manager now?
I don't know. I would go mid-table.
Yeah.
I was confident on it.
11th to 16th.
Yeah. If there's space in there.
Oh my word.
High or low in there?
I would go above Cardiff.
Yeah.
I'm going optimistic.
Ipswich and Sheffield
Wednesday. I'm fancying it. Get it in.
Okay. Southampton. Are we going to be using our heads or hearts here?
I'm going to use my...
Sheffield Wednesday got a manager from Spain. I'm just having a look. They brought
see, look, he's going to bring that Spanish style.
Playoffs for Southampton.
One of them is going to. I think one of them is going to really struggle.
Just miss out.
I think so.
Yeah. I think.
Swans yet either. No.
I think that Leeds, Leicester, and Southampton. It never happens that all three do well. I think Southampton are going to be the team that does not do well.
And where are we going to put them then?
And I want to put them missing out for the playoffs.
Here?
There, yeah.
Can I just say we've got 5 teams left and we haven't picked the second place yet either.
Yeah, but we may push someone up.
Okay, Stoke City.
There's another one. Another one of them teams are just there, and they could drop out if they have a bad season. How many spaces have we got mid-table? Let's put everyone mid-table.
I mean, there's a space in 11 to 16th.
Well, we could put them there, can we?
Yeah.
Oh, some big teams coming now as well.
Chuck them there in the middle. I know. Sunderland. Nicky's struggling at the moment. I'm sure we'll get him back in a sec.
He would have loved to talk about Sunderland as well.
Let's skip Sunderland for him to come back then. Let's go to Watford.
Watford. Oh, God.
I think they're going to bounce back a little bit.
Do you think?
Surely they go into
playoffs?
Watford, Nicky?
Watford. Oh, no.
I would say playoffs, yeah.
Do I think? Oh, yeah, they did.
I think they'll bounce back.
Because the 3 teams that came down the previous year, none of them went up, did they? Or did they?
I mean,
or Burnley went straight back up, didn't they?
Watford and West Brom, I would happily put both in the playoffs there.
West Brom, see, before we played them, obviously, what was it, the last game of the season we played them?
Yeah, well, that's Steve Bruce last year when we played them in the first time.
But apparently they took a £20 million loan out to try and get them up.
Last year
in January, bring players in. But apparently I don't know the ins and outs. We might have to have someone from the West Brom side of it. But apparently they haven't got much money. So they've went sort of all out to try and get up last year.
Okay, maybe they'll miss out then. Do you think?
I think they might struggle a bit, but that's just me. I don't know. They are a big club.
Are we going to put Watford in playoffs? Is that what we were? Are we going to bump other people up if we don't? That's where our positions are.
Go on then, put them in there. Put them in there.
Put them in there and we'll review.
Right. Yeah, West Brom.
I will put them.
I don't see them as a playoff team because they just they don't excite me.
Put them 7 to 10.
Right, we'll have to bump someone out of that category now then.
Yeah, we'll have to bump someone out there.
I'd still say St. Coventry are dark horses here.
It could be, yeah. We'll have a look now when we see
Sunderland.
I don't think he'll have as good a year as he did last year.
No.
Looks like Stewart's going to be injured again or possibly gone. That's what my inside sources.
Signed Bellingham's brother, didn't they?
They signed Bellingham's brother. Looks promising, but
Bradley Dack.
They really have Birmingham. Bradley Dack's always injured. like even Blackburn fans have said you struggled to probably get about 15 games out of him.
Yeah.
They've signed some youngsters I'm sure it's one from Benfica, and someone from France.
So what do you reckon, like a mid-table?
I think about mid-table.
Chuck him in here, but we need to take someone out of that category then.
We're not even giving anybody else an automatic spot. Yeah?
I know,
Well,
right.
Swans will have to be automatic. Swans will have to be second.
Yeah, come on.
Right, let's bump someone up to automatic before we place the Swans.
Right.
I think in automatic, I'm gonna go.
I would be
Look
surprised
at
Norwich.
Paul. You're looking at Horrid or Southampton with his cursor there.
I wasn't
I would
intentional.
say Leeds if we have to pick
Leeds
someone
more
to
than
go
anyone,
second.
I'd probably say.
Yeah, Leeds.
Yeah.
Right, we need 2 more in the playoffs. We need to get rid of one in 7th to 10th and one in 11th to 16th. So,
We need to put one in the relegation zone as well, don't we?
oh yeah.
Go on then,
Playoffs.
Luke. Drop QPR down.
Oh, QPR go in. Bye.
Right.
So we drop in. Which one are we dropping down? Unless we put in the Swans there.
I think Swans might have an okay season. To be fair, I don't think.
So we're going to drop someone down from 11th to 16th to 17th to 21st.
I'm going to. Yeah, Stoke. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So there's 2 positions left in the playoffs at the moment. So
Right, we've got to pick 2 playoff teams now.
So basically, Swansea City.
Swans are in there, obviously.
I don't know. I think Swans. I don't know. It's difficult, Nick. Because like, if we keep Pirro, we could have a good chance. I don't know.
It does depend if we keep Peru.
Maybe it's my heart more than my head thinking. Yeah.
I want to bump Coventry up to playoffs as one of them.
Do it. Take
Yeah.
it. Take it on.
And then we need one more, and it's either Swans in there or Swans in you. So what are we thinking?
I don't think.
Oh, not in there.
Whoa.
Oh, hang on.
Whoa.
I can't take them out.
Oh, it's not working. It's just trying to tell us something.
Right. No. So anybody who's watching, this is not the final position for the Swans. I would say.
I would.
Bump. I tell you what. Bump. Borough.
League One. What are you saying? Everyone's struggling.
I was going to say I think the Swans at the top of the 11th to 16th. I think.
That's fine. You've got to put Bristol up then. You want to put us here, then you need to put.
Do that for now. I don't think Bristol. Are we saying Bristol City going to be that good? Really?
Or one of these other clubs.
Sunderland, maybe.
Sunderland, maybe better than Bristol City.
I think Sunderland would have a
Sheffield
best.
Wednesday with a new Spanish manager.
Oh, Spanish connections, haven't we? So what have we got here? We need one more playoff team, don't we?
Yeah, one more playoff, and out to the 7th to 11th selection.
I think Borough maybe.
Middlesbrough.
Oh, Birmingham.
Birmingham is an outside shout. It's not a bad idea.
I think Birmingham's my dark horse of the year. I think they made some decent signings.
So you want to put them in playoffs? So
no, I don't think it'd be. I think I'm happy with that actually. Looking at that,
I'm happy with them just missing out there. I think Borough might get in there again.
So Swans finished 10th last year. Do you think we're not going to match it?
I think this season is absolutely ridiculous because you've got take out your Leeds, Leicester, and Southampton are the 3 teams that come down. They're all going to spend, and they have spent, and they're going to be decent. Like we said, it doesn't work out that they all go back up, obviously. But they are there. You've got your Norwich, your Watford, and your West Brom, who are like the 3 teams that have probably got more spending power. Well, like West Brom is struggling, but I mean, over the past couple of years, they've underperformed, and they'd be looking to bounce back. Especially Norwich and Watford, we got there. And then that middle cluster, I think you can get lost in there. And I think any team in that 11 to 16 and the 17 to 21 could be in any order.
Yeah, it could be.
I think it's the hardest championship. It's the hardest
than we
championship
had last year, right now.
Yeah, but I do think it's the hardest championship for.
Why?
I think it's the hardest championship since we've been relegated.
Fair enough.
And that's what we're saying about another thing. And I know we don't want to keep going back to it, but it's what we said about Russell Martin in the past 2 seasons. I think it's been a very weak championship, which might have got us out of trouble. But I think some of our performances last season. If we play like that this year, we're in big trouble. Because there's some
Okay.
good sides in there.
Any last minute tweaks of the order in here before I call it out?
Let's have a look.
So,
I don't know about Hull just missing out on relegation.
would you like to bump them higher? That's fine. Huddersfield just missed now.
Yeah. Like I said, though, I think anybody in that order, even from 10th down, could be in any order. I think we are getting relegated.
Ironically, Swans finished just behind Sunderland last year, didn't they? Or near enough. No, was it? No, they weren't.
Yeah, it did this.
So,
well, there's a question for you now. If I offered you 11th, would you take that now?
no.
Again, I've been saying in all my pre-season vids, match 10th or higher.
No, I would want to be sort of in that. Oh, I know. Maybe I guess it's also you think. Well, I would want to be in it probably. You want to be because I think we were so close last year, but obviously the league is like a lot more difficult this year. But you want to be around the playoff area, don't you?
I just feel like Duff's going to be more consistent than Martin was.
I know, but I think
we were 10th last year.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, I think Duff's going to be a victim of the quality of the championship this year. I think
he is the
last year. Well, you never know. But I think like last year, obviously, if obviously we think it's all going to work out, and we think it's going to be right, and he's going to tweak the things that were wrong last year, and he's going to change things, which probably would have got us into the playoffs. But I don't think that'll be good enough this year. I think the league's too strong.
So we're happy with this then?
Yeah,
it's not a knock. It's not going to be a knock on Duff. I think the championship. I think look at that. You've got.
You're the year first, guys. If we get playoffs, Lee doesn't have any confidence in the squad. So
I'm
joking.
If we get anywhere near the playoffs this year, like say 3 points, 4 points, even 5 points outside the playoffs this year, I think that's an incredible season.
So no changes then. We leave it like this. We're going to lock it in.
We'll lock it in. Go on, lock it in.
Lock it in. So we've got champions, Leicester City. Automatic promotion is Leeds United. Playoffs from 3rd to 6th is Norwich, Watford, Coventry, and Middlesbrough. 7th to 10th then, we've got Birmingham, Southampton, West Brom, Sunderland. 11th is Swansea, then Bristol, Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, Cardiff City, Preston. 17th, we'll have Stoke, Blackburn, Millwall, Hull, and just missing out on relegation is Huddersfield. And in relegation, QPR, Rotherham, and Plymouth apparently going to finish last according to Swans cast. So sorry, guys. We didn't curse you with Whittaker.
I think Rotherham will finish bottom.
We've had a last minute change after we've locked in. We'll go with that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I didn't think
fine.
that one. But I actually took it.
Sorry, Rotherham.
Can I do one final thing?
Yeah.
One, just to throw a spanner in the works.
Right.
Do we want to swap the Swans and West Brom?
After you just said all this, about why
No.
If you're going to swap,
that's the bigger sitting on the fence, backtracking.
No, I'm not backtracking. Like I said, I think.
Do you think Swans have I know it doesn't always work out this way, like obviously, but with injuries and things. Do you think the Swans have a stronger team than West Brom and Sunderland? That's what I'm asking you, man. Do they have a strong squad?
Not until they get a left back in.
I don't know. I think this dressing is quite tight. See,
I think it probably might have a stronger squad than West Brom.
West Brom signed Josh Mancher, remember?
Or stronger squad.
Oh yeah, but you get injured.
Questions, isn't it?
Sunderland have got actually. I think sort of Sunderland probably actually more all-rounded now.
Leave it like that. No, I'm out. Leave it like that.
Right, that's our team sorted. Right, there we are. We're done. Swans 11th. If we were spot on, then you can buy us all pints in Wine Street. So,
and I think 11th will be a good finish in this championship season. Still, I think it'll be a good season.
Yeah, I guess it's a good starting point for Duff.
Leeds
better than Russell Martin's first season.
Don't come crying now when we finish 11th. Be like, oh, we should have finished 9th. Yeah.
No, if we finish 9th.
Yeah, they're crying at the end of the season. I missed out. Made so many mistakes.
Yeah, if we finish 9th now, where he just said to swap us and West Brom.
Yeah. No, my only thing was we were talking about West Brom. I don't know if West Brom are going to be that high. And I was thinking if there was a team to replace it, I'd put the Swans. But let's leave it like that.
I think potentially West Brom could struggle because maybe the lack of money apparently. But
We could talk. We could talk about this all day. The championships.
Talk about legs of a donkey, can I? But there we are.
Yeah.
Oh, conference. Lock it in.
We'll end the year. We'll lock it in. We'll post up a graphic at some point after this is out. And yeah, we'll end the podcast there. So I guess you could say the podcast was about 45 minutes, and then we added the predictions on to the end. So we'll call it that.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That we should bring back is let's have a prediction for the Swans game on Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do prediction then. I'll try and do a spreadsheet or something. All right, then I'm going to say 2-0 Swans.
Ooh, bold.
Are we doing scorers as well?
Yeah, I think you could name. I think you could do we'll do 5 points for a correct score. So if the Swans win 2-0, you get 5 points. You can have 3 points if the Swans win 1-0 or 2 points. And then you can name 1 goal scorer for a bonus point.
All right, pro.
Very well.
1 goal scorer, yeah. Pro's going to score a goal. Go on then, Lee.
I'm going to say 2-all. And I'm going to say Pro as well. As my goal scorer.
I'm going to say 1-1. And my goal scorer will be Ncham.
Oh,
I've got an extension to this game that I think will make it quite interesting for the season.
go on.
Let's also pick a man of the match. And if no Swansea player gets it, no one gets points. And a player that's going to get a yellow card.
Okay. Bonus points.
Yeah.
Player's going to get a yellow card, Jay Fulton.
I'm going to say a yellow card will be Josh Key. I'm going to
say a yellow card to Darling.
You go Fulton, Nicky, yeah?
I'll go Fulton.
And I'm going to say man of the match will be Grimes.
Though I was thinking about Grimes there, but now I'm going to pick someone different. Just because. Go on, Lee.
My man of the match, I think it's going to be my man of the match is going to be Josh Key.
Oh, that was going to be my one.
You can say it as well.
No, I got to mix it up, and I don't want to be in the same level. I'm going to say my man of the match is going to be Jerry Yates.
Oh, nice.
Watch one of these guys not start now.
Watch us lose 3-0
on the bench.
3-0, absolute drubbing.
Absolute drubbing, 3-0. Like last year, we lost early doors. I mean, Blackburn beat us 3-0.
Jerry Yates. I'm going to go Jerry Yates for me.
Okay, we'll call it a day there. So thanks everyone who made it this far. Obviously, I would have clipped this in half anyway. So you might just be watching the predictions on YouTube. If so, let us know your predictions in the comments. Do you think we're absolutely clueless with the way we put the table out there? Or do we know what we're talking about? Do you agree with what we're saying? Have we got the Swans in the right place? And what do you think of the new signings? Obviously, you've got the striker and the goalkeeper, and potentially signing another wing back. By the time this video goes out, we'll see. It wasn't done by all accounts when we recorded. So I know the last couple of videos we put out there, I've put it out just after something we spoke about was immediately changed. So for example, in the last video, I think I said Alan and Janelli weren't going to be fit, and then they played in the friendly. I was like, oh, that's good, isn't it?
They made you look like a mug.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching and listening. As always, thanks Lee and Nicky for joining me. I'm sure we'll see you both. Well, definitely see you plenty of videos going forward this season. So on that note, we shall catch you in the next one.
Yeah, pleasure.
See you soon.
In a bit.